74-72, the highest scoring game in college football history. Man alive, it doesn't get any better than this.
On November 24th, 2018, LSU and Texas A&M played in one of the craziest college football games of all time, a game that would completely overhaul the overtime rules of the sport. The 2018 LSU Tigers were a precursor to the greatest college football team of all time. In 2018, LSU already had players like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, among many other insanely talented players. On the flip side, Texas A&M also had a great offense, led by quarterback Kellen Mond and running back Travion Williams. The Aggies were going into this game with a 7-4 record and a number 22 ranking. LSU was coming in ranked number 7 and with only 2 losses to Florida and Alabama. The Aggies kicked off to the Tigers, and the game began. The game started with 3 straight 3-and-outs, but on A&M's second drive, they put together a 10-play, 95-yard touchdown drive. LSU responded on the next possession with a 12-play, 75-yard scoring drive. At the end of one, the game sat at a mere 7-7. A&M responded on their next possession with a mirror image of LSU's last drive, 12 plays, 75 yards, touchdown. Next drive, LSU went down the field and tried a field goal kick, which they missed. A&M tried the same thing on their next drive, but made the field goal. LSU kicked another field goal and made it at the end of the second quarter, and we went to halftime with the Aggies winning 17-10. A&M went 3-and-out on their first drive of the second half. LSU took this opportunity and responded with a whopping 15-play, 90-yard touchdown drive, and the game was all tied up. The Aggies had 3 straight incompletions on their next drive and had to punt the ball again.
Catch made, and it's dropped! Dropped by Giles, and it's picked up by Buddy Johnson.
Giles dropped the punt, and suddenly A&M had the ball at the LSU 29-yard line. The Aggies pounded the run 7 times and scored to take the lead 24-17. On the Tigers' next drive, Burrow got sacked twice and went 3-and-out. At the end of 3, A&M had the lead 24-17. The fourth quarter began with an exchange of punts. The Aggies' second drive of the quarter began with sequential 4-yard runs, followed by an 18-yard pass. Then this happened.
Dogs are going to give them a game in Atlanta next Saturday. Georgia playing its best football of the season. Meanwhile, Kellen Mond now 2 straight completions. But this one is a loss and a fumble. It's stripped away. Streaking the other way is Michael Divinity. Touchdown LSU.
LSU's Michael Divinity Jr. returned to scoop and score for 58 yards, and the game was tied back up. After another 3-and-out by A&M, the Tigers ran straight down the field and scored another touchdown, giving them their first lead of the game. A&M responded with a decent drive that made it to the LSU 37, but they couldn't convert on 4th down. The Tigers' next drive was a 3-and-out. A&M had one more chance. The first 2 plays were incompletions. On 3rd down, they got a 12-yard completion. First down, another incomplete pass. Then on 2nd down, this happened.
This is A&M down 7. Mond trouble with the snap, almost went down to a knee, and that ball is picked off. It's Delpit that'll put it away with his 6th interception of the season. LSU is going to 10 wins.
Grant Delpit intercepted the pass to seal the game, is what I would have said if Kellen Mond's knee wasn't down. At the beginning of the play, Mond drops the ball and picks it back up. If you look closely, it looks as if his knee touches the ground when he grabs the ball, and that was exactly the case. After further review, the call was reversed and the Aggies lived to fight another play. On 3rd and 18, they got another incompletion. It was 4th down and it was A&M's last chance. They needed at least 18 yards, and they got it. They spiked the ball with 10 seconds left and got a 22-yard pass completion to Kendrick Rogers with 3 seconds left. They stopped the clock again with 1 second remaining and had one last shot to tie the game.
12 red zone targets coming into this game.
Game on the line. Mond, end zone. Caught! Courtney Davis!
The Aggies tied it up, and this game was going to overtime. LSU had the ball first in overtime. One false start and one sack later, LSU elected to kick a field goal. Now all A&M had to do was score a touchdown and they would win the game. They pounded the run and made it all the way to the 1-yard line. On first and goal from the 1, they ran the ball for a 2-yard loss. Second and goal from the 3, they ran for a 3-yard loss. Now at the LSU 6-yard line, they went for a pass which fell incomplete. Fourth down, they settled for a field goal, and we went to second overtime. A&M started with possession and went back to pounding the rock, but this time they scored a touchdown. Next drive, Joe Burrow kept running the ball and got down to the 3-yard line, where Nick Brissett ran it in for a touchdown. Tied at 41, we went to third overtime. The first play of LSU's possession was a touchdown. Starting in the third overtime, you have to go for 2, and LSU got it. A&M now had to respond with a touchdown and 2-point conversion, which is easier said than done. They did it on their second play, and got the 2. Tied at 49, we went into overtime number 4. A&M got to first and goal at LSU's 8, but couldn't do anything with it, so they had to settle for a field goal. This was LSU's chance to win the game. All they needed was a touchdown, which they were not able to score, so they also settled for 3. Now it was tied at 52 going into 5th overtime. LSU scored a touchdown in 3 plays on their possession, but failed the 2-point conversion. A&M responded with their own touchdown, and now they just need the conversion to win the game.
If A&M gets it, it's over. If LSU stops them, we go to a 6th overtime. Mon with all kinds of time, and it's incomplete.
6th overtime. A&M scored on their first play and got the conversion. Now for LSU. After 3 plays, Joe Burrow ran it in for the touchdown, and they got the 2. 7 overtimes. On the first play, Burrow throws incomplete, but they got a pass interference call on A&M, which moves them up 15 yards. First and goal from the Aggie 10, Joey B runs it in himself for a touchdown. They go for 2, but don't get it. 72-66, A&M has a shot to upset number 7 LSU. First play, A&M gets a 13-yard run from Travion Williams. First and 10 from the 12, and they get pushed back. Second and 14, incomplete pass. On third and 14, they score a touchdown. Now all they need is a 2-point conversion. The first attempt is an incompletion, but LSU gets called for pass interference. On the second attempt, A&M gets a false start. On attempt number 3, this happens.
Got it! It's Rogers! The Aggies win the game of the year in the Southeastern Conference.
The Aggies win 74-72 in 7 overtimes. This game would lead to the overtime rules for college football to be changed. In 2019, the new overtime rules took effect. You now had to go for 2 starting in the second overtime instead of the third. And starting in the 5th overtime, the teams simply alternated 2-point conversions until a winner was decided. This is why the 2021 Illinois vs. Penn State game, which went into a record 9 overtimes, only had a final score of 20-18. This game will be remembered forever as one of the craziest games in college football history.